Dr. M. Subbaiah is an assistant professor in mathematics in LN Government College, Poneri. He has specialized on statistics interdisciplinary. Being interested in active research program and mathematical or statistical modeling, he has knowledge in operating various softwares on statistical tools and on technical computing. Having 16 years of teaching experience, he has published papers in 8 national and international journals, and has also presented papers in 10 national and international conferences.
Welcome to the UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences. This session is devoted for a simple demonstration of statistical calculations with the help of Excel, Microsoft Excel. So, basic statistical calculation that includes finding minimum or maximum or descriptive statistics like mean, median, mode, something like that, or you can go for a bivariate calculation like correlation, regression, that can be calculated for a smaller data set with the help with the manual calculations or a calculator, and that can be extended to a computing machine like a spreadsheet operations or spreadsheet software like Microsoft Excel. That can be useful when we know the operations which are to be performed for the given set of data, and you can pick them up from the given set of library of functions which are already stored in the Excel, or that provides an option to write formulas of certain calculations on our own. However, this session is a basic demonstration with the help of Excel spreadsheet itself and a moderate size data samples, so that how Excel can be easily used for computing statistical analysis or simply statistical quantities. The contents for the session is, though I am going to demonstrate with Excel, these wordings should be comfortable for the user so that they can understand the way in which Excel should be used for calculation. And always before we have a calculation exercise, we should know what we are trying to do. Precisely the objective of our calculation or the problem should be clearly specified and clearly understood also. That is what I mentioned here. Make clear analysis plan with the help of different data types and what kind of analysis we are trying to do, and one such statistical software may be with the help of Excel. So, I directly get into a view and feel of Excel, so that the screen will display now an Excel sheet. So, I start from the beginning. I have a data file in Microsoft Excel which is stored in the desktop of my computer. Of course, the file management I am not going to discuss in detail here. Still, I have a file which is stored already, which contains many sheets. So, this is a data file and I have sheet 1 and I have different data sheets here. So, for a comfortable view, we can just increase the size of our view. With the help of that, we can easily find out. It simply, I take a cell here, this box is called a cell, can be identified by the row number 1 and column identifier English alphabet A. So, A, B, C. Using a cursor, I can move to my right, to my left, or bottom or up, anywhere you can make a clear and easier movements, so that whenever you change your cell, you can easily identify where the cell is actually. It is in E4 now. So, 4 stands for the row identifier, E stands for the column identifier. So, ultimately this is grade here. So, where you are placed or where you stand can easily be identified either by looking at the number or by the different shading here. Look at the way it changes. Just you observe here, when I move to 5th row, when I move to Fth column, when I move to G column, and the gray will also move, so that you can easily identify where you are actually. The entry of each is a direct typing from keyboard. So, for example, I just start typing example. So, this is just I start typing with my keypad, and like that I can start typing numbers also 1 3 something like that. So, I can delete if I do not want this from the keypad again, or usual Microsoft options are available here. Anyway, the file management is little essential to understand the overall structure of Excel. So, I just consolidate. This is a file called data.xls, and each file contains n number of sheets. So, each of them is a sheet. So, each sheet has different type of data. I will explain each and everything later, but first of all understand the terminology. A file, within that a sheet, within that we have a cell. A cell is nothing but a combination of row identifier and a column identifier. So, that the file itself is able to store a number of data files, like with character or numeral or any special characters for your convenience. Whenever it is required, you can have $sign or whatever may be, depends on the usage of this Excel. So, I just take an example where we have this data set, which is nothing but a sales report, for example, of a particular company, which is having from 1983, and an year is divided into 4 quarters and certain time period which is cumulatively calculated from 1 to 20, then this sale and then industrial sale, whatever may be. These abbreviations are not that much important, but still there are certain meaningful data given in this particular sheet. So, what kind of analysis I can do that? So, the first job is I have a data sheet, I just punched in or data has been input in the given spreadsheet kind of thing called Excel. I just explained the components of Excel in a simpler way, so that our data set is ready to handle. But the objective lies on the problem, objective lies on the investigator, what is the requirement or what is the statistical quantities he likely to get. Without that particular plan, it may not be easy to handle Excel even, because Excel will not automatically does any calculations for your data file. It is up to us, up to the investigator to decide what kind of analysis he in his mind or the problem warrants. So, based on that only we are likely to choose from the given library of functions. For that, essentially one has to understand what is the data type. So, what are all the different data type available, like discrete or continuous, more specifically count data or categorical data or a measurable data. So, with all these large classification of data, we may have different objective and different type of calculations. For example, in the given data set what we have now, I observe that this 20.96, 21.4 might be in lakhs or crore, whatever may be. The units are immaterial for this particular discussion. Anyway, we assume that it is some amount of rupees, we could say in lakhs or whatever may be. So, that I just assume that it is going to be in a continuous form. So, I can calculate mean of the sale or the variance of the sale, something like that. On the other hand, I may want to compare what is the performance of this particular company between the years 83, 84, 85, 86 and so on and so forth for a simpler presentation. So, the objective of the analysis would be different. If I am interested in the mean of year 1983, my objective is to calculate the mean of the first 4 quarters of the year 1983. So, I take the function. So, basically for calculating the average, we may know that we just add and divide by the number of items. So, that is what I mean to say in the beginning. You can write your own formula or you can depend on the functions available already. So, I choose the available function. So, when I start a cell with an equality or with a minus sign, whatever may be, Excel will understand we are about to do some computations. So, I just start with an equality sign, then I take the function average. It is in my objective. So, I select average. When we start typing each character, then there is a clear help file for you, so that you can choose n number of functions which starts with a, what are all the useful functions we must have, maybe logical, maybe numerical, anything for that matter. Anyway, we are here interested in looking at average. So, I just select average, double click it or even type it. So, it is a simple menu which will help you to pick the values for which you are interested to calculate average. So, I pick them number 1, comma, number 2, comma, number 3, comma, number 4, close your bracket. This is one way of doing it. So, you get the value 21.46. The same calculation can be done in one more way also. I check average, double click it. So, you have an average and go to this formula bar, click it, you have a function. So, you can select number 1 20.96, number 2 21.4, number 3 21.96, number 4 21.52, and automatically it closes the operation, or you can extend also, then same answer of course, that is not a big deal, but anyway there are other ways to do. One more way is, once again I pick the formula average of, I select the 4 continuous value. So, I browse over all the 4 values where you could find out that D2 to D5. So, this colon represents the continuity D2 to D5, close the braces and come out. So, 21.56. This error message is nothing, it just asks for you to find out whether the adjacent cells which are also numbers, therefore, Excel automatically makes a help or a warning, so that whether you missed any cells, if you are not, you can clearly say I am not omitting any irrelevant value. So, 21.46, of course, the average is computed in different ways. Suppose I do not know what function I have in my Excel, but I know the formula. So, I start doing it, first value plus second value plus third value plus fourth value, and then all this value has to be divided, therefore, I make a bracket over it, then divided by the number of items. So, I have a same answer. So, this can be filled here also. So, once again I will do it. So, equal first value plus second value plus third value plus fourth value, and you can close the bracket, then divide by 4. So, all are punched in the keypad and we have 21.46. So, there are many ways to input your formulas. This one you could see the difference. I select one each at every click. Here I select again, but in a different way. Third D2 to D5 continuously I browsed it. Fourth I input the formula by typing whatever the cell I identified. So, D2 to D5 and so on. So, there are many ways to handle a calculation here. Suppose I want to know how many items in the particular column, say for example. So, I go count, this is a logical function. Count what? I count all this selected, you have 20 numbers ultimately. Suppose I want to know how many are exceeding 25. So, I have countif, a new function. Suppose I am very new to Excel and I do not know what are the arguments to be included. Well, you have a clear functional explanation. Countif, I clicked here, there is an fx, click it again, you will have a clear arguments, what are the things you would like to do. First of all, select the range. Okay, I select the range, I select from D2 to D11 for example. What is the criteria? I am interested whether it is something greater than 25. So, within this selection, namely D1 to D11, of course, up to here, there are no number, nil actually, which are greater than the 25. What is that is what your criteria. Suppose I change the criteria slightly to 21, then again I will click it. There are 9 values for you which are more than 21, that is your criteria. So, these are all dependent on this. 21 is not a magic number, this depends on the objective of the problem, we do not know. This is for an example, just I say 21 or 20 or 25. Suppose I want to extend this selection, what should I do? I just browse through some more values I have in my column. So, I just to extend my selection like this, so that your D2 to D11 becomes D21. Click again, there are 19 values which are greater than your criteria, namely 21. So, the formula can be entered directly or they can be chosen from the library function. If you want to know the library function, you have this idea, so that it will give what are the inputs required for the given function. I have to select the range, I have to give the criteria. So, for example, if I have a criteria namely less than 0, so obviously we know that it does not have any value which is negative. So, anyway the answer is 0. So, I can use 2 or more than one functions here based on my requirement, depends on the conditions of the problem. So, this cannot be standardized or it cannot be generalized for all the situation. So, we just observe how to enter the given formula from a given data set or which you are inputting from your data file, whatever the form, in an Excel sheet which is composed in a file and then divided into many sheets and then with the help of cells. Let us see some more options with the help of more data files. We have a data file called IndusSale which just provides some sales data. So, statistics basically has a culture of summarizing the given information, not necessarily always with a number. It has one more option that you can have pictorial way, that is called eyeball judgment. So, as I told you, we may be interested in comparing the sale, maybe company or computer, whatever may be. I told already that the title is not that much important, but still it says something about sales. So, we might be interested or one might be interested in selecting it. This Excel being a higher version, it automatically provides you some idea about the data and everything, because I selected the data already. My cursor is here. This cell is being selected, namely D1, which is within the data frame. Therefore, Excel gives you some charts which you can straight away click and then the chart will be appeared here. But it may not be the case always. So, I will tell you the general behavior. Suppose I click, my cursor is here which is out of the frame or out of the given data frame. Now, we go to the same menu, insert, I look for bar charts, I select now. You can observe that it is empty, because your original cursor is somewhere outside the frame of your data column or data places. See, your data is actually with E21 is the last point and our cursor is away from those frame. Therefore, when we try to do a chart work, your chart looks very much empty. Of course, I start from this menu only, we just minimize for convenience. Here in the chart area, I right click it, then I select data. So, this menu you could observe, this is select data and there is a menu for you. I have to add what information I am going to give. So, my series name would be year 1983, I selected here, then I select my D2, D3, D4, D5. So, this is for 1983 4 quarters, then I said OK. Then here I will edit again, because I should know what is the axis axis is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. You may have a question that already the number 1, 2, 3, 4 exists, then why should we include this particular cell? We have a reason, I will explain you shortly. This is a simple chart which explains details of your sale for the quarter 4 quarters 1983. Why we have included? Let me explain you. As we included this particular cells as the identifier, I retype it because 1, 2, 3, 4 is a number. I just make an understanding that it is Q1 refers to quarter 1. Observe here, whenever I change the reference cell and then enter, I will move to the next cell. Legend will also change, therefore, the diagram will be much more meaningful, much more easily interpretable. Then once again I make a similar changes Q2, and the convenience of Excel is, suppose you have more item to extend, I selected these two, observe the plus here, click and then click, you will have Q3, Q4. Automatically the diagram will also have the respective changes Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That is the need why I have included this in my data legend. So, once again start from the beginning, select data, I have added 1983, then I have 4 quarters, then the corresponding sale is pictured here. I want to add for 84 also, add series name, series values. Now, you will have it for the year 1984, which starts from D6 to D9. I do not lift my mouse in my left operation. So, I just click here and then move it here freely up to the 4th quarter. Then I have this one. So, in 1983-84 once again I edit this and then Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 we have. Likewise, I can add one more for quick understanding, series name 85, series value we have for 1985 it starts from D10 and it goes up to D13. So, you have yes. So, we have a clear comparative picture for 4 quarters Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, but each color how it what it represents. Let me go to again. When I click the cursor, you look the menus here carefully, it is for the regular view. Suppose I click the picture, anywhere in the picture you will have one more, two more options immediately appeared here, chart tools, design and format. Design for colors and again, but format is more important. We can change the format how it looks and all the look and feel details can be done. Suppose I take this particular part. So, chart styles, there could be different chart and we can select them from this right click change chart type or from this menu also. So, you have changed the chart type and you can have stacked, you can have this kind of stacked operation. So, that all the 3 years can be given in the same column. So, if you change that you will have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So, here, instead of putting it in the different column, you have only one column, but 3 different stacks through which you can interpret the same idea. So, how we are going to interpret the given information and compare in the pictorial way. So, which year has actually more or less sales in the given quarter can be compared. Therefore, a quick revision of your items, insert menu and what chart you want to do, go by that parallel vertical or horizontal and then select the data here, select data, add whatever the component you want, then you just click the way you can get the diagram whatever you want. So, this part just explains you how a simple calculation with the help of sales data for which I may be interested in looking at the average sales in a particular quarter or comparison between 3 or 4 years for this for the 4 quarters in a pictorial form. Suppose I am looking at in the same data cell, I just delete the particular diagram with the delete in my keypad. Suppose I am looking at maximum of, so I look at maximum for first quarter which year has done better. So, year 1 first quarter, comma year 2 first quarter, comma year 3 first quarter, and comma year 4, and we just closed it. So, you have which is actually the maximum. So, first quarter maximum is 25. So, maximum we have, minimum we have, median. So, just to make you to make things easier, I typed M, then ME median, minimum, mid value, and there are other also minute and so on. So, there are time operations and everything. So, those who are interested, they can look at the functional menus without the formulas. You can see n number of functions with options. What all the function? Financial, date, timing, maths, trigonometry, statistical, etc., text, the logical forms and, or, and so on so forth. So, there are many items. We already used a partial of that, COUNTIF. So, if functions is also there. For example, if I have here this cell value, this particular cell value. So, once again I will show you what all the argument you would like to have. Logical test, if E7 is greater than 500, your answer should be say yes, else I will have no. Okay, that caps is user requirement. So, it is no because your value is not satisfying the condition. So, I can reverse or I can change. If I say E7 is less than 500, yes, yeah. So, these are all the logical testing for a given particular cell for which the Excel can be useful for applying the functions. So, for a beginner, they can look at this particular menu to find out the different functions available under each or each classification. Still, if we do not know which is to be selected, all function will give you mathematically formed functions like trigonometrical function, inverse trigonometrical or trigonometrical function. There are many for you, or if you are particular in looking at for statistical function, we can have average, average deviation, then some probabilistic distributions here, and correlation as I mentioned, everything. So, one more example immediately for a bivariate would be, I look at for correlation CO or, so 3 letters or even 2 letters would be enough. Correlation of what? So, the analyst must know at least we need 2 columns, right. So, I have correlation of array 1 and array 2. So, array 1 may be up to 10 here, and array 2 may be here, I will go up to 10 again. So, one value is short. So, I just select one more. We have 0.9786 as your correlation value. Similarly, you can try n number of options available with the help of these diagrammatic representations like pie chart and everything, or I can do with calculations from the given menus or given formulas. So, sometime we may have to include some formulas also. Suppose I have here one more conditional formulas. If I have this is greater than 5, then I will calculate the average of these two. So, a function within a function, average of these two, else I just skip it, I will take 0. So, what is the condition? If this number is greater than 5, I will calculate average of these two, else my answer would be 0. So, let us check. Yes, first of all Excel will check whether A2, the number 7 is greater than 5. So, it says the condition is satisfied, therefore, it attempts to calculate average, else it will go. Let us look this if option, value if true, value if false. So, most of the options are very much self explanatory, therefore, the way in which you input will be much more easier. Suppose future I just change a value like 4, the formula will automatically update, that is one convenience. Second is the same thing has to be included for all the columns available, all the values available in the first column. So, I just drag it, the dragging option is quite comfortable and easy. Look at the cursor change, this plus will become this thin dark plus, So, I just drag them for all these changes, and wherever the condition is satisfied, Excel calculates A6 is greater than 5, therefore, it calculates the average, whereas A5 is not satisfying the condition, therefore, it has said 0. Therefore, computing and managing with Excel is very much simpler, very much direct, as long as one is very much comfortable in their data plan, their data analysis plan. That is why from the beginning I insist, whether we use calculator or manual calculation or a computer like a spreadsheet application like what we have done for the past 25 minutes with the help of an Excel, the analysis plan makes our computation more meaningful, relevant with the given data type and the problem objectives. So, this session is just giving you an overview, a simple demonstration with the help of Excel sheet to understand first of all the file structure, number 2 how to insert the values by just typing it directly from your keyboard, and whether it is a text or a numerical value, then how to enter the required formulas through the given functional sets available in the libraries of Excel, where we can locate them and how to include them in your computations. Then each function has its own arguments, parameters to be included, that can also be directly available in your Excel, where you just click the formula bar, it is called formula bar, then it will help give you an idea what to include. Suppose if you not correctly typed anything here, then there will be an error message, so that you can review your computations, and always there is a help for each and every functions whatever you are going to choose. So, help on the particular function for the explanation of these titles, what you are likely to do, and an example. So, Excel will be more or less a self explanatory tool to understand for those who are ready with their computational plan in black and white. So, for them it will be a straight self tutor, I have to say like that. In this session we observe the simpler demonstration of Excel data entry and simple statistical computation with the help of data files. So, which is available already, or we can enter through keyboards. So, how to do an data analysis, a simple overview and demonstration with the help of example is what we have discussed so far. So, as usual the questions would be helpful to understand or redo the calculation simply. So, I just ask only to enter a number from 1 to 15, use any measures whatever you likely to do with maximum, minimum or whatever the kind of things with the built-in functions, where I used average in the discussion, you can try anything for that matter. Enter formulas on your own. So, I did both the cases, you can also try with the help of the numbers 1 to 15 or 20 or 15, whatever the case of interest. The second is a part of the data file which I have dealt so far, that also has some sort of categorical data or some textual form, some numerical form, so that people can understand what to do with them, how many of them are no or yes, a bar chart may be helpful, a mean or an variance can be calculated for the given columns or given rows. For these items you can try. The Excel journey would be more and more easy, comfortable and useful only when a data analysis plan is perfectly drafted and the data is collected keen with the help of any sort of input device, so that we have a data file in a clean form, so that computations can be very quick, very easy, accurate, and it avoids redundancy also, because it saves your results for future purpose. Thank you for joining this session.